What's good? What's good? Shout out to everybody in the building. You already know the vibery. It's Knicks and Ish. It's tea time. It's Mrs. Knicks. We in the building. Eventful day yesterday. Yes, indeed. A very eventful day indeed. We couldn't go too long without dropping our 2 cents on the events. The big headline news. Well, first and foremost, it's the last day of the year. How are you today?
I'm good. Happy New Year's, everybody.
Happy New Year's. Word. Facts. I don't know. I'm
Just so
getting
you
wild
know,
or weird.
your screen is black.
Well, I'm trying to figure that out. Yeah, I'm getting like a weird playback.
Okay.
Actually, I'm watching. I got the live up right now. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna leave the screen and I'll be right back because I
Okay.
don't know why that's doing that.
So while he comes back, I just want we all just want to thank y'all all for tuning in every time we do a show. I mean, it's much appreciated. And this is just the beginning. We're going to be doing a whole lot more, and trying to get everybody more involved in what we do. So from Tea Time, from Kev, from Fraz, and from me, we thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Okay, I'm back. Can you see me
Yes.
now? All
Yes.
right.
I was just thanking everybody for all their support this year from everybody.
Facts. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, I mean, I got some. I might not have the most supporters, but I got some dedicated and loyal supporters. Shout out to Silas in the building. Shout out to Darlene in the building. You know what I mean?
Always.
So I guess let's get to it. Let's get to it. RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly are no longer a part of the New York Knicks, as you all already know. Uh, it's tough. I got mixed emotions. I cannot lie to you. Emotions are definitely emotions are definitely mixed. Uh, I'm going to get the pleasantries out the way. You know, because I wanted because what I because I got a lot to say, and some of the stuff I want to make sure that y'all understand is not coming from a mean spirited place. I actually do like these guys. I want to thank RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly
Facts.
for for
Great
great times,
seasons.
man. Yeah, for great times. I feel like I watched these young men grow up for real. Like we got RJ when he was 19. I remember being like, I remember immediately being disappointed for not getting the number one overall pick, and then immediately content with the fact that okay, we got RJ Barrett. That's good. I can live with
Facts.
that. I'm happy with that. Uh, he showed some signs of that he could take the next step. You know what I mean? And I was rooting for RJ all the way into the very end. Uh, on the other hand, Emmanuel Quickly, you see you saw that Emmanuel Quickly had something special in him. Like he could
Facts.
be one of those really good scorers in the NBA, the likes of Lou Williams and Jamal Crawford type scoring ability. I'm not saying he got Jamal Crawford handles. I'm saying that his scoring ability was like those guys, especially coming off the bench and being a spark plug. And watching him continue to grow is a pleasure to see. You know what I mean? We had a campaign here at Knicks and Ish, Play the Kids, and Emmanuel Quickly was definitely a part of that, a big part of the Play the Kids formula. Uh, but they're no longer here. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Before I get into uh, the actual trade, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to say any kind words for the young man that just departed the team.
I mean, thank you. Thank you for from the fan base because y'all did something for us and y'all lit a spark in us that we've been missing for decades, we can say. We haven't had as a fan base the opportunity to see young men develop on our team. And really, we can go back to Ewan, to be honest, where
Mm-hmm.
we've drafted someone and seen them develop. And like you said, to see RJ, and I'm getting emotional, but not because I don't like the trade, but because we saw them grow up. RJ, I like Duke. Duke is my team in college. So when we drafted him, it was like, yay. You know what I mean? Like, of course, everyone was upset we didn't get that first pick or we didn't get Zion that year. But as it has played out, we probably did get one of the better players out of the two. Um, but unfortunately, just didn't work for us. Not saying he won't be great. Not saying he doesn't have potential. It just didn't fit what we have right now. And the same
Mm.
for Quickly. We drafted Quickly. No one knew who he was. I didn't know who he was.
Facts.
We traded down in the trade to get him. So it was,
Facts.
to me, we knew RJ probably wasn't going to be long term for the Knicks. What stung me yesterday was Quickly. But when you sit back and look at it, you kind of knew once the deal wasn't done this past offseason that he wasn't going to be. And so as we talk, we'll get into more, but definitely want to say thank you because y'all have ignited something in our franchise and us as fans.
Yeah.
And that'll never be forgotten. I don't think any fan at all of the Knicks wish anything but the best for y'all.
Facts. Uh, you know, shout out to my guy Kev. I think it was him who said it in the group chat that, or was it the group chat or on Twitter? I can't remember. Yesterday was a lot going on, but he said it that they were a big part of helping to turn the franchise around. You know what I
Facts.
mean? And internally grateful for that. I go into every night watching Knicks basketball expecting us to win. Years before, that wasn't the case.
Facts.
So yeah, so like I said, y'all already know what the trade was. RJ Barrett and Manuel quickly in the second round pick for OG Ananobi, Precious Achua, and what was how you say his first name?
Malachi.
Malachi
Malachi.
Flynn. Yeah, Malachi Flynn. Uh, First I want to talk about what we got, and then we could get into why it was necessary, right? Why it was necessary to give up what we gave up. What we got in the main piece of that is OG Ananobi. Uh, he addresses an immediate concern for the Knicks, and we watch it on a night-to-night basis. Uh, the bigger wings, the guys that's between 6'7" and 6'8", 6'9", been giving us problems. We don't have a guy who can defend those type of players. Uh, I'm talking about the Jason Tatum's, the Pablo Bancheros, the Kawhi Leonard's, like those kind of guys, those archetypes. We have trouble defending those guys. And OG Ananobi is one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. He's just not great. He's one of the best. So you add that, right? And that addresses an immediate concern. And then you look at his shooting numbers. Somewhere that RJ struggled for most of the season. Uh, Catch and shoot wide open corner threes. RJ struggled mightily. I think he's shooting like 33% from 3 point this season. OG Ananobi from the corners, especially the right corner, is shooting 43%. And when you think about it, you got two left-handed guys. You know that most of the time they're going left. People like to collapse the court from the opposite side of the court where you're driving. So who's going to be
Yep.
standing there in the right corner? OG Ananobi, a person who is 43% on catch and shoot threes from the right corner. So you get that. And then you look at Precious Achua. Uh, and come on, stop before you fall. Uh, then you look at Precious Achua. Uh, Again, he's not a world beater by anybody's standards, but He's a solid backup for. He's going to play with the intensity and hustle that your head coach loves. And he's physical. I watched Precious at you, and I watch him give us trouble, and I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? Again, kinda, he's around Julius' height, which is about the 6'9" range. Still kind of undersized for power forward, but he makes up that with his strength and physicality. He loves to crash the offensive glass, which is something that we do well as a team, and that's an added plus. It gets to move Josh Hart back to his natural position, which is playing 3 and the 2. Something that Josh Hart has visibly struggled with playing the 4 this season. He no longer has to do. Briefly, Mikal Flynn, I don't know too much about him, but I hear good things. I hear another hard-nosed player, uh, a guy that can defend at a high level. Not really big scorer, but I, overall, my consensus on the trade is I'm I'm sad to see my guys go, but I'm happy with what we got back. A lot of people wanted a superstar trade and still are like, oh my God, OG Anunoby. But if you know basketball and you watch OG play, you know we just got a major pickup. And he wants to be here. We're gonna get into that. But go ahead, Mrs. Nix. You got the floor.
So I think one thing that he also adds, I'm talking OG, that didn't, yeah, it lacked in RJ's game. He finishes at the rim strong. RJ will
Facts.
always go in and go for the layup and really look for the foul and not really look to finish. But OG is that strong that he finishes at the rim strong. So he gives us, I think Alan Hahn said it best, he gives us everything RJ gives us offensively, plus one of the best defenders in the game. Someone who can defend the 1 to 5 position, someone who's
Facts.
not afraid to defend the 1 to 5 position. Um, and that's good. And someone that's going to open the floor up because, like you said, they got to respect his 3. So respecting his 3 means Julius is going to get easier shots, means Brunson's going to get easier shots. You know what I mean? Like, though,
Yeah.
that by itself is the reason why I don't understand why people are upset about the trade and why I agree that this trade makes us better. Is it the trade that we wanted for a superstar? Absolutely not. But does it make us more marketable for a superstar? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And then we talk Precious. Precious is everything that we've been saying we needed all season, which is a backup to Julius.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to give us points? Possibly. I remember when we played them not too long ago, he gave Julius a problem defensive wise. And there's not
Mm-hmm.
many guys in the game that can give
Pick up
Julius
for that.
problems. um, we got better defensively, 100%.
Yeah,
That was the
absolutely.
best part. And when you see the trade and the pieces that we got, we're building on Tibbs type players. Defense first, because offensively, for the most part, we're good. We lose Quickly's 15 points, but let's not forget we got Hart that can give us that easily.
Yeah.
If given, we have guys that can throw up points day in and day out. So do we really lose 15 points? No. You know what I mean? Like Malachi Flynn can throw up a couple of points, even if each of them throw up 5 points. We still
Yeah.
getting Quickly's points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So offensively, we're fine as a team. Defensively is where we've struggled over the last month and a half, which was why this trade had to happen. Um,
Yeah.
I think people sleeping on OG is crazy to me.
Crazy.
It's
Crazy.
just crazy.
To piggyback off what you were saying, especially about the defense, we were giving up 120 plus points on a given night in these last few games, which is nasty work, especially for a Coach Thibodeau coach team. Nasty work. It's something that needs to be addressed. Offensively, we were all aces. We're putting up 120 plus points every night as well. But defensively, that's not what Coach Tibbs want. You feel me? And I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But yeah, but that's not what Coach Tibbs want. And to shore up our defense with a guy like OG, and I agree, athletically, he's more athletic than RJ. He's bigger, he's stronger, he jumps higher. And let's not
His
forget
wingspan is crazy.
7'1", he's
Two,
6'7"
seven,
with a
two,
7'2" wingspan is crazy. That's
crazy.
crazy. Like so, and then let's not forget that he led the league in steals last year. And this is an area
Was
that
he
the
all
Knicks
defensive second team?
absolutely all defensive second team. And this in forcing turnovers, I feel is an area, even though the Knicks have been at times a really good defensive team, that's an area that we can improve in is turning people over more. And then you got Dante DiVincenzo who plays the passing lanes well. Then now you got a guy who's a bandit when it comes to stealing the basketball, right? And you put him in a Coach Tommy T system and everybody on a string, you're gonna see great things. And you mentioned, Quickly's 15 points going. Did we not just see Dante DiVincenzo drop 38 last night? Granted, albeit in a loss. Albeit in a
Against a good
loss.
team. Against a good team.
Yeah. On the back-to-back.
Thanks.
Albeit in a loss. You know what I mean? But I'm like, oh, that's more shot opportunities for Dante. And I'm cool with that. What happened?
You keep floating.
Well, you be all right. Uh, and I'm cool with Dante getting more shot attempts because I feel like him and Quickly, when they shoot the ball, I assume it's going in. Oh yeah, that's money. Like, so I'm
Right.
cool with that. And yeah, another thing about OG too. Excuse me. Let's talk about him actually wanting to be here. That's important to me. Uh, I don't. This is one of the reasons why me and Kev always be like kind of leery. Kev don't be with no trades, but this is why I'm kind of leery because it's always the factor of does this player actually want to be here versus him just being here because he has no other choice, right? And you firing your management, which was Clutch Sports, now one of the hottest management companies in the basketball, if not the hottest, the most sought after agency in basketball in the NBA today. You fired those guys so you can be able to so your management can be able to broker a deal with you coming to the Knicks. I'm sold. And
Not only that, not only went to an agency that could do it, went to the son of our
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
So it's like, if anyone can make it happen, you about to call your daddy and make it happen.
Yeah. We I just want to answer this real quick. Silas, this is not the only time he's put up a 20-plus point game, and the last time he did it wasn't against a horrible team. Just FYI, we're talking about Dante. I mean, I get what you're saying. He put up 38 against a horrible team, a horrible defensive team, but they were playing defense last night. If you watch that game, I don't know what got in the end last night. They was playing defense, but
Thanks.
it's not the only time he's done it. But yeah, and then there's an article back to OG wanting to be here. Then there's an article saying that they had how much he was looking for if he 40, and then they said that it was a caveat that he's willing to take less if he were able to land with the New York Knicks. That's what I want to hear.
Yep.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. And I like I said, I could keep glowing reviews for OG is something that a lot of the fan base and the front office has been chasing after for like almost 2 years now, and we finally got it done.
Thanks.
It was something else I was about to say, and I lost my train of thought. Damn. So we got it'll come back to me. But yeah.
No, but I agree 100%. Like having someone that fits in with the team is important, and having someone that wants to be here long term for this process that we're going through is important. And I think OG definitely wants to be here. Um,
Yeah.
we don't know too much about Precious, like outside of just seeing him play. But I will say this: he's Nigerian. He grew up in New York, so he grew up in the Bronx.
Oh, that's facts.
So
He's
that
a
says a lot.
New York native. Absolutely.
That says a lot. Most New Yorkers, you grew up in New York. Knicks is it for you. So I'm sure and I'm sure we'll hear it eventually that this is important to him.
Yeah. So I got what I was about to say. And another thing that I love about this trade is the fact that last year when we visit this trade for OG, the Raptors won the two first rounders. They got none. They got none.
Facts.
And that makes me happy too. We still remain uh
Bless you.
thank you. We still able to remain aggressive in creating other deals, and we're still flexible financially and asset wise. All right, you can go get it, and I'll open it for you. Put on your slippers. Yeah, it makes us be able to stay flexible financially and asset wise. We still got Evans expiring contract. People might be like, "Oh, people don't want Evan." They might not want him as a player, but somebody might want that contract off the books.
Facts.
And his name's floating around. We can get into that later, but I want to get into why those pieces that we traded was necessary to trade.
And let me just add one more thing to that, what you were just
Yeah,
saying. Getting rid of RJ opens up some cap space for us as well.
absolutely, absolutely. What you call it? So now we getting into why RJ and Emmanuel quickly had to be traded. She getting cheese string cheese. Uh, yeah. So RJ, the reason why RJ, again, I loved RJ. Wish him all success in the world. But here's the hardcore fact. There go my guy. There go my guy.
Hey,
Yo,
Give me,
what's
I'll open
up,
it for you.
y'all? What's goody? What's
Shout out
goody?
to my guy Kev, out and about and still made it to pull up to the live. Appreciate you, Brody.
You
You know what I
already know what
mean?
it is, man. I miss
Oh,
y'all,
got the
man.
little one in the back and everything. Oh, got the little one to the
You already know.
back
You already know.
and everything. uh, so what I was getting into right now was why RJ and quickly had to be traded. Uh, like I said, love RJ, appreciate the kid, but the facts are facts. He did not ascend to where we wanted him to be. He
I
had
don't either.
5 years. He had 5 years. And in those 5 years, unfortunately, he never reached the level of consistency that we needed him to reach. Uh, and that not saying that he can't do that somewhere else. Maybe it's a multitude of situations that kept him from being super consistent. Maybe he's playing behind Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, people who are ball dominant. Then you got quickly coming off the bench with somebody else who's pretty ball dominant. And it's hard for me to really give that one too much credit because RJ still takes a lot of shots. He still get a lot of shots up. His shooting has never came around. We needed somebody to be more consistent on, excuse me, catching
bless.
shoot 3-point attempts. Thank you. Catching shoot 3-point
Bless you,
attempts.
bless
And overall, I feel like we did right by RJ. We sent him home. Like, we didn't send him to somewhere that he probably wouldn't be happy. I would imagine.
We didn't send him to Detroit.
Right.
Facts. Facts. We did right by the kid. I could imagine that he's excited to play for his home team. Who wouldn't be, right? The team might not be all that good, but he has a chance to able to make the team good. Uh, and as far as why we traded Emmanuel quickly, this is a real sore spot for a lot of people in the fan base, myself included. I was kind of like that part. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry.
Bless you.
That part took. Thank you. That part took a little getting over. Like RJ was easily to understand, but quickly took a little time to get over. But it was necessary because, like Mrs. Nick said earlier, we wasn't able to come to that deal in the off season. You run the risk of losing him coming up. There was murmurs about
I
him
agree.
wanting to be a starter,
I
and
agree.
that wasn't going to happen here. He wasn't
Um,
going to start over Jalen Brunson. So
Facts.
we traded him while his value was high. I don't think last year the whatchamacallit, the Toronto Raptors would have just accepted RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly for OG Anunoby. Like I said, they wanted those two first. And we was able to keep the two first because Emmanuel quickly's value was high now. I'm gonna lay the plane there.
Real quick, because I'm not gonna be here for too long.
Yeah,
But I know like we fought real hard, right, to keep the kids, play the kids. I think 3 years straight we fighting hard for the kids. We trade the kids, but at the end of the day, business is a business. The organization is gonna move the way they're gonna move. We could sit here and fight and beg all we want about, they're gonna do what they're gonna do at the end of the day, what's best for the team, right? Um, I thought IQ and RJ, oh my God, those are my guys. They helped us. Uh, uh, they helped us bring the Knicks back. You know, they were a part of that whole thing, and unfortunately, it ended. But you gotta see it. Um, you gotta see it two ways. Like those are my guys, right? But those guys actually struggled. Especially against key players, key teams, major teams, the Bucks, Heat, Celtics, those three main teams are Philly. They were inconsistent against those teams. So I think that played a part as to why we traded them. Um and now we get to bring, like y'all said earlier, we get to bring in a guy who we needed. That's why I kind of like understood the play, like the trade. At first I was kind of like, damn, like we gave up IQ, but at the end of the day, it's like, well, we kind of offer you a bag, and you wanted it more, so I understand the move. I feel like,
Facts.
okay, so if you're not gonna resign with us, I think you're gonna leave anyway, so might as well get something in return. Hey
Facts.
baby,
absolutely.
hey baby,
Facts.
don't do that.
And let's just be realistic. His agent was asking for more than we paid for Brunson.
Right,
That
right,
wasn't going to happen. And I think when you take emotions out of it, it was the best move. We had to make the move. We had to do it because at the end of the day, as a fan base, we've been crying for years and years and decades about overpaying players. And now
right.
this year we don't do it, and you're still crying.
and
It
and
makes no
the
sense.
point
We
is,
had
and,
to
and the
do it.
thing is, right, and the thing, and I'm glad you brought that point up, because that's an amazing point, right? They was killing the front office for overpaying Josh Hart, a bench player. Like y'all was killing the front office for that. So now y'all mad because we traded quickly, who wanted 125 plus million for the next 4 or 5 years, for a guy that
Yeah.
he's most likely coming off the bench because we got Jalen Brunson. So, like, I just feel like, the organization did what's best for them.
For the
Kudos to
organization.
them. They
Yeah.
they put him in a great situation. It's not like they put him in a bad situation. They put him in a solid situation for them. Quickly wanted to start. Now you can start. Now Dennis
Facts.
Schroeder could go to the bench. You can be the starting point guard for the Toronto Raptors, and you could get your bag.
Facts.
And it
Facts.
works out for everybody.
Facts.
I'm glad y'all brought up that topic of the fan base, so you know what's about to happen. You know what's about to
Do it,
happen.
cause I'm
Let's get
ready.
right. You know what's about the incoming rant alert.
Let's go.
Yo, listen, man. This is towards the fan base, right? I sit here and I watch y'all complain about this front office. Not,
Everything.
oh, Leon Rose is asleep. Leon Rose, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone, Leon Rose. What you doing? You think this team gonna be successful as it is? It's poor roster construction. Oh, we logged Jim at the point at the guard position. Oh, all these things y'all was complaining about. And this one trade remedied most of that. You feel me? You got bigger in the wing position pause. We cleared up the log jam at the guard position, and we got better defensively. Are we a championship team yet? No, but we get better? Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you don't think we got better, you're bugging. You're
You don't know
bugging.
basketball. You don't know
That
basketball.
means you need to watch more basketball outside of Knicks basketball, because anybody who's watched OG Anunoby play know that was a solid pickup. And I think he's going to fall into the exact role that RJ fell into, right? You start with the starters. When the bench come in, that's your unit. And I think OG would be better at that, because the things that we said, that he gives you everything that RJ give you, but and more. He finishes at the rim better. He's a better 3-point shooter. He's stronger. He's bigger. Like what? And then quickly, I kind of understand that, but you understand he had to go, bro, or you gonna overpay him. He wanted 25 mil, bro. 25
Yo,
of them things. You
and
crazy
and
for a bench
and I'm
player?
and you know well, another thing, shout out to Miss Nix, cause she be on it. Like she be on it. Everybody complaining, oh, we're gonna pay OG on an OB 30, 40 plus $1 million. What are you doing? False. The man said that he wants to be in New York and he's willing to sign for cheap. He's willing to sign for
Facts.
cheap to stay here in New York. He wants to be a Knick. So it works out well for both players. And the thing is like, y'all was complaining y'all wanted the tall wing. Now you got the tall wing and you're bitching.
No,
You wanted
specifically,
a tall wing. We need a tall wing. We're too
yo,
small this. We're too small that. Now we got the tall wing and we got mugged. Well, I don't
yo, Kev,
understand.
Kev. Specifically, they was asking for OG last year. Specifically,
Facts.
that guy. That guy. They was asking for him last year. That guy. Give me OG
Facts.
Anunoby. That guy. Now we
Right.
got him, and y'all still. Yo, listen, man. I think y'all too invested on complaining and versus what surveying what we did, looking at the team as a whole, and understanding like, hey, that was solid. That was
Facts.
solid. Mrs.
It
Nix,
was too emotional. It was way too emotional. People couldn't take the emotion out of it. And I'm not gonna front. When it first happened, me and Kev jumped on video together, and we both were in shock right before we all spoke, and we
Yep.
both were
yeah,
in shock. But when you sit back and look at it as a long-term fan, as someone that knows the game, you know that this move was a good, solid, equal move. Both teams benefit from it. I think Mike Breen said it last night multiple times in the game. It wasn't about talent, it was more about the fit for the team. RJ didn't. RJ fit the team when it was Julius and RJ. RJ doesn't fit this team when you add Brunson into this mix. He couldn't adjust
mm-hmm,
to having two people in front of him. It was a matter
mm-hmm.
of fit. It had to happen. And to go back to quickly, that was what made me super emotional. It was quickly. We had to get rid of quickly, or we
What,
were
Mike?
losing him for nothing. So what
Facts.
do? You have to get something. And guess what? If Precious isn't a long-term thing for the Knicks, we don't know. We just don't know. But guess what? We got a year and some change to figure it out with him. And if it doesn't work out, then we move on. We don't really lose anything for nothing. It's something that had to be done. And when you sit back as a fan, you have to appreciate the fact that this front office did what they had to do to make us better for one to make us more marketable for two. And truth be told, this ain't the last move. I don't know if
I was
it's
just
gonna
about to say
happen
that. Yeah.
this season. It may happen this season, but if it don't happen this season, it's gonna happen during the off season. Something else major is gonna happen, and it could be one of two players, which we think, and either one is fine with me. One more preferably, but it was a move that once we get that player, makes us crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
facts.
to be honest with you, like I think a lot of people are down on this trade. They don't believe the trade is gonna be a success. I disagree. I think that
They didn't think
defensively,
signing Brunson was going to be a success. Okay,
right.
these
Facts.
same
There you go. You
fans.
said it. You said it. And I think now this helps us. Now this helps us defensively. Now I think we're gonna be one of those. We're at, I think, what, 15 defensive rating right now, 15, 16. I
Yeah.
think we're gonna go shoot right back up now,
Right,
because now I think
facts.
defensively we're gonna get better. But I'm gonna land the plane real quick because I gotta go. But shout out to y'all for shooting this space. My bad, I couldn't stay longer. Happy New
Nah,
Year. I
nah, it's
love
all
y'all.
good.
You too.
Let's go, Knicks.
Yeah.
We outside,
Yo,
baby.
Happy New Year's, my boy. Yo, appreciate
Yes,
you
Happy
for
New
sir.
pulling
Year's,
up.
y'all. Talk to y'all later.
Yep.
All right, later.
But to piggyback
Uh,
on what Kev was saying,
yeah,
absolutely, it brings us defensively back to where we want to be. When you look at it, we fell. We were at 4 when Mitch was on the
yeah,
when Mitch was playing. We dropped almost immediately when Mitch went down. So bringing in these guys brings us up there. And just think about it when we get Mitch back, because Mitch single-handedly put us there. You know
yeah,
what I mean? To have another guy, a wing player, that gives us the same thing that Mitch gives us, that's crazy.
yeah. Facts. Yo, you know what's crazy, right? This kind of random, but I'm interested. Even though if we get pair up, like we got Dante DiVincenzo and OG out there as well. I want to see what Hartenstein, Precious, and Josh Hart minutes look like together on the floor. Oh my God, it's gonna be so much
That's
hustle.
all
It's gonna
defensive team right there. It's
it's gonna be
crazy.
so much hustle. I want to see what those minutes gonna look like. That is gonna be interesting to see. Because it's gonna be so much hustle and energy. Even the front court of Isaiah Hartenstein and Precious is going. If they get on the court at the same time, it's gonna look crazy because they're
Facts.
gonna crash the glass crazy. They're gonna defend at a high
They
level.
both
It,
physical as hell.
yeah, so there's something else I wanted to talk about too that is intertwined directly into this trade. Uh, my guy Deuce McBride getting an extension. But
Facts.
it was 3 years, 30 mil, something like that.
13 mil, 13 mil,
2
right?
years then. It was 2 years,
No,
13 or
I
3 years,
think it
13.
was 3 years, 13.
Oh, yeah, 3 years, 13. Yeah, before I continue, I wanted, I like to get my stuff
Yeah, I'm
right.
looking it up too. Yep, 3 years, 13 million extension.
3 years, 13 mil. Boom. It's his with the movement of Emmanuel quickly. You, Tibbs always speak super highly about Deuce McBride. He loves this kid. Every time he goes, he's a professional. He gives great effort, and little by little, you're starting to see him get a little bit more comfortable on the offensive end. I think with increase in playing time, not saying he's going to give you 15 a game off the bench. I'm saying that it is well, it's reasonable to believe that that kid could average about 7 to 8 points coming off the bench. Like that is
Facts.
a reasonable expectation for the kid, and he's going to give you high level defense at the one position. Uh, and this is, and I believe them extending him tells me that he's going to get PT. You don't extend people that you know that's not going to play. You let those people go. Oh,
Facts.
we could get somebody else to sit on the bench. You feel me?
Facts.
So I think
For cheap.
and especially immediately after us trading quickly for him to sign his extension speaks volumes. We're gonna see that Deuce is about to be loose paws. Um, and we're gonna see him get more PT. And I'm excited because me and Kev, many times on this platform said it years before. Give Deuce some minutes, and now he's finally gonna get the opportunity. I'm happy for the kid. I am happy for the kid.
Absolutely.
We're gonna be a hell of a defensive team.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. I mean, Deuce was part of the Play the Kids movement, and I think, like you said, defensively, he gives us everything that Dante gives us too. Like having any one of those six on the court at the same time defensively is crazy. Like I
Yeah,
just can't even come up with words for it because you know what they all bring individually, but to see it collectively is going to be insane. And I'm happy for him. He deserves it because, like you said, everyone always speaks so highly of him. And not for nothing, anytime his number has been called, he's shown up.
absolutely, absolutely. Uh, yeah, I'm real happy for the kid, man. He deserves it. Now it's time for him to prove the front office and the coaching staff right. To have faith for him, and I can't wait to see him do it. Uh, what else? It was something else. Oh, you said something earlier. I skipped over it, and I just remembered about us not being done. I, you didn't mention any names. I'm gonna mention the names that's still floating around: Donovan Mitchell and Dejounte Murray. Right, those are the names that I see the most. Uh, and if I'm picking one, I'm picking Dejounte Murray. I think he fits the team
Absolutely.
better. Uh, I know that might be an
Defense. That's
unpopular
it.
opinion.
Defense.
Facts. I know it might be an unpopular opinion amongst most of the fan base because they've been salivating for Donovan Mitchell for the last what 2-3 years now. I, Donovan Mitchell, hell of a talent. I just don't feel he fit this team. Dejounte Murray, again, defense, another guy who will turn you over. Uh, and he can score. He can score. He might not be a bona fide 25 plus scorer on high efficiency, but if in the right role, he's going to give you between 15 and 18 on high efficiency basketball in the right role. And not to mention, he's 6'5" as a two with really long arms. That's great size for the two guard position. You feel me? Uh
So this season he averages 20 points, 5 assists. That's solid coming from someone
what's
that
his
got
field
to
goal
play with
percentage?
45.
That's decent. That's decent.
Right.
Uh yeah, it would have cost us a lot less too. I think we could get DeJounte Murray for a lot less. I think we gonna have to get. It's not gonna just be Evan. Somebody else got to go. Might be Quentin Grimes. Uh, and I'm not even mad at that. Love QG, but I'll take that DeJounte Murray over Quentin Grimes any day. Uh, and if that happened, a starting lineup of Jalen Brunson, DeJounte Murray, OJ Anunoby, Julius Randle, and
And
right
Mitchell
now
Robinson.
Hartenstein. But when Mitchell Robinson come back, oh buddy,
Facts.
oh buddy,
Facts. And
that yeah. I'm gonna let it play
no,
real
go.
quick. That
Yeah.
to me that put us in Eastern Conference championship talks. You feel me?
Facts. Facts. No, and from when I was saying, because I didn't want to say names then, because I knew we were going to talk about this, DeJounte
Yeah.
Murray will be my pick as well. And not for me not liking Spider, but the fact that DeJounte Murray fits in defensively. When you think about a championship team, at the end of the day, it all comes down to stops. And he
Facts.
will fit right in to what we're creating. Having Spider would still put a lot of pressure on OG and Mitch to, back them up because they don't play defense. He doesn't play defense. It's going to
Yeah,
be the same what we have right now. So definitely would if I had to choose, pick DeJounte Murray as well. I mean, we'll see. I don't like. I think they'll take Evan a first round pick, and maybe a couple of second round picks. Maybe I don't think that his value is that high right now in Atlanta.
yeah.
And I
Now,
think Atlanta's getting a little frustrated because they're not getting to the point where they think they should have been
yeah,
when they acquired him.
yeah. They thought they did something when they got they thought
Right.
they was gonna be the cream of the crop of the East when they got him. And I don't think it's his fault. I just don't think that him
It
and
was a fit. It was a fit.
yeah, I don't think him and whatchamacallit, Trey Young fit well, right?
Right.
What is Atlanta in the standings right now? That's what I'm looking for. Uh, Darlene, he was sick yesterday, non-COVID related illness. Atlanta is 11th. It's crazy. They're
Right.
11th, 12 and
But even when you
19.
think
Yeah,
about it, right before they acquired him, they had beat us, right, in the playoffs. So they were like fifth, right? Because we were fourth,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
And even as soon last season was the first season he played for them, and they had dropped already. They weren't at where
yeah,
they were or better. And so far this season, it's proven to be the same. So I think they're not going to ask for a lot. They're not going to get rid of Trey Young, so he's going to be the move that they make to get out.
yeah.
I think him removing his Atlanta Hawks post on his social media yesterday
Alone.
and blacking out his profile picture yesterday says that something will be happening. Don't know if it's going to be with the Knicks, but
Oh,
something is happening.
we're gonna get the news sometime in the next couple days, huh?
Facts.
Uh,
Yeah, because
yeah,
he deleted everything.
yeah. So that's what's up. I hope it's the Knicks. Because that'd
Facts.
be crazy. That'd be
Facts.
crazy.
And
Uh,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah. So now to his value, I think it's definitely going to cost us more than one first rounder because we don't have like high first round picks, right? So they're like late first round picks. So I think it's going to be multiple first round picks, probably two if I have to gauge. Uh,
I'll do it. I still would do it.
yeah, two if I have to gauge, and we might have to give up Quentin Grimes as well as Evan Fournier. Uh, and
But if
I'm
you
cool with
look
that.
at it, is it worth it? Absolutely. If he's averaging 20, we're getting what? six
Yeah,
to
he's
eight
probably
points
going.
from Grimes, and we're getting nothing
Yeah,
from Evan.
so he's gonna. That's probably going to drop as a Nick because he's not going to get as many shot opportunities.
Right.
Uh, I see him dropping down to a comfortable 16 to 17 points. Uh, because I think the way that is going, the roster that if it happens, this is all hypothetical, obviously. If it happens, OG and DeJounte is probably going to play with the reserves that come in, so they could get more shot opportunities. So that's going to be their time to. Nah, he's not a three. He's a two, Silas. He's a two. He's a two, and that's
He's a two.
perfect. Perfect. You could put him in a two. You can move Dante back to the bench. It's crazy. Like in the
Facts.
way Dante's been playing as of late, crazy. And like
Right.
you won't be able to collapse the court on Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson anymore. It'd be too many offensive weapons. You will literally have to respect everybody that's on the court if this trade happens. Not saying that you can't now, because I still think Dante is showing that, hey, y'all give me this much space, I'm lighting your ass up.
Facts.
So, but I just think another ball handler, another facilitator, because DeJounte can pass that rock as well. And oh man, hold on.
We
uh,
bless you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm having an allergy fit right now. I don't even know why. Uh, yeah. And then you add his defense. I can't. I can't ask for more. Yeah, I mean, I did not know he did that to his social media. That is very intriguing.
It
Definitely something's
literally
going to happen
happened like
soon.
right after the trade.
Yeah. Maddie
No,
Smooth. Wait, it happened.
it's
It
definitely
happened. It
right
happened
after the
after
Knicks trade. Yeah, it happened like back to back. I was like,
the.
oh, okay, right.
What?
But I'm a repeat what one of my friends said yesterday when we were talking about the same thing, and I shared it with y'all. They said getting Spider or DeJounte is getting the Earl the Pearl to Jalen Brunson's Clyde. Think about that, Knicks fans.
Facts. Facts. I like that. I just think another reason why I choose uh DeJounte Murray over Spider is because Spider is another severely ball dominant player, right?
Facts.
Like they don't even in Cleveland, they don't even run uh offense most of the time. It's Spider coming up the court, might get a pick and roll, and then he does whatever he does. Uh
Right.
and and I don't think we need that, right? I don't think we need that. But the thing, okay, hold on. Steven, Steven trying to get my attention today, obviously. So Brunson is not a great defender, right? But he's not horrible.
He's
He
not.
does things to make up for his lack of size and overall defensive ability. Obviously, the thing that stick out is his charges. But what's underrated about Jalen Brunson, he plays the passing lanes very well. Jalen Brunson is deflecting passes, intercepting passes, going across court. If Jalen Brunson was about 2 inches taller, he would have way more steals from just intercepting passes because 9 times out of 10, when the cross court pass is coming, he's usually in the right position. It's just whether he can get to the ball or not.
Yep.
But yeah, he's not a great defender, but Jalen Brunson does things to make up. And the reason why he fits well, when you look at the whole disruption that the if we make this trade for DeJounte Murray and how they will be turning people over, he fits that kind of mold into getting in the passing lanes and deflections and steals and stuff like that. That's something that he can do. He's not locked down. He's not going to be able to stay in front of his guy, that especially if they're bigger than him or faster. But he can help defensively in that. Well, we're going to turn people over. That's what we're doing. All right, let's
Right.
turn up. We getting in these passing lanes. We turning people over. Then you got another person coming off the bench in Dante DiVincenzo, who's in Josh Hart is of the same mold of trying to turn people over and get in the passing lanes. It's gonna be great to see. I did not know DeJounte Murray did that. That made me excited.
And the
Let's go,
other thing is
Leon.
that the other thing is that granted I don't think he's a bad defender. He's just small. Let's just
Yeah,
be very clear. He's just small. But when you got 3.5 guys, because I don't want to say Julius plays no defense, but he could be a little bit better. So you have 3.5 guys in OG, in let's say we get Murray, OG, Murray, and Mitch. It's less help that they will have to provide Randall and Brunson. So it makes it so much easier defensively for us as a team.
yeah, yeah. That's a fact. Uh, I ain't gonna lie. I was trying to find DeJounte Murray Twitter page. My bad. Let's go. Nah, but yeah, I mean that's definitely all speculation. when it comes to DeJounte Murray. Fingers crossed that he lands as a Knick. But yeah, I'm if I had to give this trade a grade, right? I'm gonna go with an A.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with an A. I'm gonna go with an A. Uh, it would have been an A. Like if situation, the way this would have been A plus if situation was different. If we felt like we could, you know, keep quickly and sign him in the off season and just RJ Barrett in a second rounder for OG, that would have been an A plus. But
But let's keep it very clear. I don't think. I think if the Knicks front office would have had any inkling that they could have kept quickly, he would not have been part of that trade. So for
facts.
them to include him, they must have known without a doubt it was no way that he was gonna remain a Knick after this season.
Yeah,
So Knicks fans need to take the emotion out of it and think about the team. Think about what we have been praying for and wishing for not years. We're talking decades.
yeah,
Think about what we've been wanting and wishing for decades and look at this trade. Then maybe you'll see with clear eyes that this was not a bad trade.
yeah. Now, to what you were saying about Julius Randle, especially on the defensive end, Julius Randle is actually a solid defensive player. He takes a lot of plays off. That's his problem. He takes a lot of plays off. But when he's intent on defending, he is solid. I've seen him make a lot of impressive plays defensively when he has his mind made up. Oh, I'm guarding now. It's a
Right.
problem for you. Now, with adding people who are also defensively inclined, I think that will
He's going to
motivate
have
him
no choice.
to motivate him more to be like, all right, no, they're not scoring now because I see
Right.
OG over there locking up. If we get DeJounte, I'm still hoping. I'm just gonna keep on saying it until it happens. So if we get DeJounte, I'm gonna will this shit into existence.
I
If we
mean,
get DeJounte,
you did will RJ out of New York the last couple of
I
games.
I didn't. Don't put that stain on my jacket. I, I foresaw it. I foresaw it. Like I
No, you
knew
did.
that the way
He been playing. It was it.
I knew the way he was playing that he was going to end up out of here. Uh, they gave him every chance in the world to turn it around, uh, and he just couldn't do it. I mean, every chance. The last,
I mean,
the last game he
it was
played,
more time than most they would have
yeah.
given many a players. 5 years, that's a lot of time.
RJ's last game he played against the Thunder, I wanted to throw something at the TV watching him. Like RJ's my guy. I wanted I wanted to throw something at the TV. I was like, yo, this is hard. And the fact that he just kept on this missing. And I'm like going to the basket, like not being aggressive, leaning into contact, trying to shy away from the contact, getting his shit swapped like 8 times in a row. Oh man, it was nasty to watch. It was hard basketball to watch, especially as somebody who grown to love RJ because, like I said, he's our draft pick, the highest draft picks in Patrick Ewing. We watched this young man grow up, and it was just hard to watch. So I kind of knew, like, if he don't shape up, they gonna trade his ass. Cause year 5, we just gave you this bread. Like, what's up? We have aspirations of doing better than what we did last year. Julius is playing at a high level. Jalen Brunson is playing at a high level. Quickly's playing at a high level. Dante DiVincenzo's playing at a high level. Mitch, before he got injured, playing at a high level. Hartenstein's playing at a high level. You're struggling on the defensive end. You can't shoot worth shit, and you're not finishing at the basket. You kind of looking like the problem, bro.
Facts. Facts.
Even though Hart offensively, he's hit or miss on a night-to-night basis. But one thing he don't miss on is defense and rebounding.
And
And if
hustle,
he's not
yep.
doing both of those, if he's not doing both of those well, he's passing the ball well. Like, so when you look at the grand scheme of things, you looking at RJ like, yo, bro, not to say all our losses is his fault, but you looking at him like, if you was just a little bit okay, we probably win this game. If you were just a little bit more efficient, we probably win this game. So I kind of knew that was happening, man. Shout out to RJ though. You will be missed, my guy. You know.
Facts.
Maddie, you pulled up late, but yes, I think that's a good pickup. Like I said, we needed somebody to back up Julius Randle. Josh Hart doing it was not working.
Right.
It's giving me a headache watching Josh Hart trying to guard 6'9" guys in the post. Crazy. Watching Josh Hart trying to check Pascal Siakam in the post is crazy. It's crazy.
Right. And just
It's
that
crazy.
super small team, that second unit that we were playing was super undersized.
And then teams started to notice that, especially when, Mitchell Robinson went down with injury. They started to attack us on the boards. They're like, yo, they putting midgets out there. Attack the offensive glass. And that what was happening, like, especially with the second unit. Guys was getting mad second chance buckets. I love Taj. Taj is old and he's undersized at the 5. So there's only so much you're gonna get for Taj. Love the guy. Love the guy. He never cheats us on effort. You know what I mean? And if you needed a backup to the backup, he's actually the backup to the backup's backup, right? Because he's
the
fourth in
vet
line.
that you're supposed to have on the team.
He's fourth in line because you got Mitch, you got iHeart, you got Sims, then it's Taj. So if there's anybody in the world that I want a backup to the backup's backup, it's Taj Gibson. Like, oh yeah, Taj. If somebody get injured, if we get 2 injuries and we need somebody that's not going to cost us nothing and we know he's going to be ready to play and he's going to give all effort, no matter if he play 82 games or 3, Taj. So all I'm saying is, and to land this plane, what I'm saying is, even though I love Taj, he's still undersized and people are attacking us on the offense and defensive glass. And Precious Achua can help with that because that's the one thing he does kind of well. Like, he rebounds well on both sides of the floor. He wasn't getting terrible terrible amount of minutes over in Toronto, and that's because they signed, what's the dude name? Pirtle? Yeah, they signed Pirtle. So Pirtle took a lot of Precious minutes because Pirtle is a hell of a big man. Like, he's really good. So it's not because Precious wasn't getting minutes, not because he isn't good. It's because they got somebody better.
Right.
So to answer your question, Maddie, yes, I think it's a solid pickup.
Facts.
Yeah. All right. I guess we could do, because I put it in the description, brief overview of the game that we lost. We shot like shit. No, well, except for Dante DiVincenzo, we shot like shit. We didn't defend the 3 well. Like, our 3-point defense was atrocious. But overall, I'm not mad at the loss. I think it's kind of expected, not making excuses, but it's kind of expected hearing, pretty much earth-shattering news to a lot of guys on the roster, because a lot of these guys been with RJ for quite some time, especially Julius Randle. Like, he been with RJ's whole career. So, a shake up to the locker room. Everybody loves Quickly. He's going to. and you playing the back-to-back, understaffed. People saying it's 2 players. Really, it's 4. You're missing 4 players. You're missing RJ. You're missing Quickly. You're missing Mitch and Sims. And we kept the game kind of close. Took the
To the
lead at
fourth
one
quarter.
point. But then your 2 best players play 40 minutes. So on the back-to-back. So the rope was let go at some point, and it was expected. I'm not mad at the loss. Like I said, the biggest takeaways are that we couldn't defend the 3-point line. For whatever reason, Josh Hart just refused to get out on Turner. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but he refused to cover that man at the 3-point line. He killed us. That Naismith kid killed us. And it's all from a 3-point line. Obi had a solid game. I'm not even mad at Obi's game. He had a solid game. Him and Julius, they had a little thing going. But as soon as the game was over, it was a brief, but you saw Julius walk right over to Obi Toppin right after the game to embrace him. Yeah, I mean, I think that's nothing but a little bit friendly, brotherly rivalry. I'm like that with my friends. Like, if you saw me and my bro Fluke play basketball back in the day, you think we actually hated each other. But that's my guy. But in summation, I understand why we lost that game. It was kind of expected. It's kind of expected. It was kind of expected. I'm not mad. I'm not sure if OG will be playing on Monday. I don't know if it's too soon. He don't get to practice yet, so he might be on the bench, but might not play. But yeah, we lost to the Pacers again. Next time we play them, I guarantee, because they was talking spicy. They was
It's
talking
not going to happen. I got it marked on my calendar, February 1st. Okay. Okay. No, for sure. I mean, I don't think any fan went into yesterday thinking we were going to win. I mean, it was a tough couple of 3-game streak, another back-to-back that we had to play, and we were super undermanned. So it is what it is. I mean, we see them next time fully staffed minus Mitch, and then we'll see where we stand with them. It is what it is. It ain't.
Yeah.
I think emotionally we weren't ready for the game either. I mean, like you said, our guys, no matter what the media or other fans try and portray, they were a close-knit team. And the fact that the trade happened while they were on a road trip away kind of sucked emotionally for them.
They said they
you can
got
even see it at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
But you can see it in Josh Hart's face when they asked him pregame about, how trades like that go down. And he looked like he was in complete shock. And just even from his Twitter yesterday when he was like, is this what I woke up to?
Wow.
But, he knows firsthand, as much as he's been traded around, how this goes. And I'm sure, people had to go and talk at least to Quickly. Because, like you said, RJ's going home. That's comfortable for him. Quickly don't know where he about to step into. He going into play in a whole different country, coming from the Mecca. It's a whole different world out there.
Yeah. This is different. I agree with everything you said, but speaking of faces, somebody texted me yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, but after the Orlando game, and they watched RJ's, post-game interview. They was like, yo, I think I'm tripping, but it looked like RJ about to cry. And I went and looked. I'm like, maybe because he had a bad game, but I think he knew. Like, yo, that was it. That was my last game as a Knick. Like, I think he knew. Because if you look at his face and how he's answering questions, like RJ never really looks down, even when he has a bad game. He's usually kind of stoic. He answers the questions the same way. But that game against after Orlando, you could tell was a real somber and low-spirited RJ Barrett. And I think he knew. I think he knew he was out of here. I think he knew. You know, it's the business. Shout out to Quick, man, because I think he's going to thrive there. I think he's going to thrive there.
And I mean, let's just jump on what we said before. Like, this was sad for us as fans because we are so attached to them, but we put them in a good position for themselves. We could have thrown them at Detroit and took something from Detroit because Detroit, I'm sure, is looking to make moves. We could have thrown them on a team like that, but we didn't. I mean, Toronto ain't great, but they're not horrible. And
facts.
They will fit in. Quickly's going to get what he wants. He's going to be a starter. RJ's going to get to reignite his home country. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't put them in bad position. We as an organization did not do them dirty like we've done players in the past. And I mean, I said it on Facebook and I'll say it again. We moved one of our legends. And so if we can move Patrick Ewing after he gave us his whole career plus his knees, nobody on this team is safe ever.
Yeah, facts. Except for Jalen Brunson right now. Ain't nothing happening to that guy. Ain't nothing happening to that guy.
He got the CAA mafia on him.
Ain't nothing happening to that guy. He's here for the foreseeable future. And I ain't gonna lie, I think Julius Randle might be bulletproof too. Because for whatever reason, not for whatever reason, it's obvious. The guy's kind of really good at basketball. But Tibbs loved Julius Randle. He loved Julius Randle. And you could see it, the way that he treats him, the way that he lets Julius Randle go through whatever he's going through on the court. Like, he don't really bother Julius Randle too much. It's just like, and I think that's because he has respect for Julius Randle's work ethic and knows how bad Julius wants to win. And Julius, especially as of late, has been performing. I didn't like how Julius played against Orlando. I thought he started taking too much threes in that game, and it transferred over to the Pacers game. But I get it because the Pacers are a really long team. Pause. You got Miles Turner, who's a really good shot blocker. I forgot who was checking him in the first. Oh, Naismith. No. What's the guy? Not Naismith. What's the guy name? The guy with the goggles.
No idea.
Well, anyway, the guy that looked like David Ruffin from the Temptations, he's really tall and got long arms too. And I think that deterred Julius Randle, and he's good at protecting the rim too. Defense is his calling. I think that deterred Julius Randle from trying to go to the rim at first in the game, and then as the game started to go on, he started to do what he does and started bullying people. But Julius Randle's been playing well. I need him to continue to do what he's doing, bully everybody. I know why I get why Julius Randle like doing sometimes because Jalen Smith, thank you, Matty Smooth. Jalen Smith, David Ruffin, yeah. That takes a lot out of you to be moving people all day. You know, and you notice like what Julius Randle likes to do. He likes to take over the first part of the game. First half, Julius Randle like to go crazy. Second half, he kind of hands over the reins to Jalen Brunson. Like, all right, I'm still here, but it's your turn to take over now because I might be a little bit winded. And I think my major critique, I know I'm kind of all over the place, but it's kind of intertwined. My major critique about Coach Tommy T is stop leaving Julius and Jalen Brunson out there so long. Last night, that was killing me. I'm like, yo, these guys played yesterday, and it was a hard-fought battle. It was a physical game. Why do you have Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson playing the whole entire third quarter? That's crazy. That is craziness. You have to rest these guys. Like, even the same thing in the first, I'm looking like, so you just going to have these dudes playing the whole first quarter on a back-to-back? Like, but yeah, we gonna be all right. I'm excited.
Definitely
I can't wait to hear this.
Right.
I'm gonna keep the phone right by the side because I'm waiting to hear this DeJounte Murray news. You know what I mean? But I think I'm about to get out of here. I'm not gonna make it much longer, man.
Alrighty.
Word. I gotta go medicate myself. You heard?
Facts.
But yo, shout out to everybody. Are you guys going to make the playoffs? Absolutely. I don't know who you are, but shout out to you for
Absolutely.
pulling up. Absolutely, not a shadow of doubt. You feel me? We one game behind the 6th seed, if I'm not mistaken. We one game behind the 6th seed, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, yep. One game behind the 6th seed. 2 games behind the 5th seed. 2.5 games behind the 4th seed. Yeah, we're gonna make the playoffs. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Especially when our new addition get here and things start.
We're in a better position than we were last season at this point. Let's be clear.
Yo, this is what I'm saying, Steven. Like, fans like you irk me because y'all smart enough to know things, but y'all be emotional about stuff and don't want to be realistic. First year is the only his first playoff season is the only one I kind of give you that he had a playoff collapse, right? And that's because the Atlanta Hawks knew that the Knicks had nobody else to score and focused all their energy on stopping Julius Randle. All of it. All their energy was focused on stopping Julius Randle, and it worked. Second year in the playoffs, he sprained his ankle twice in a month. And then it'd be people like you that be like, yo, so what? Obviously, you never played basketball on a high level. You know what I mean? You never played. If you could say anybody spraining their ankle and needing surgery on said ankle, is so what? He was out there. You clearly never played basketball at a high level. And you have to give that man credit for that because in game 1, when Jalen Brunson was out, he dropped 16 points in the first quarter. If not, we lose that game. Who knows how that season goes, that series go if Cleveland gets momentum going behind them. We probably would have been out in the second round in 4 if Julius Randle didn't have an amazing game 2. An amazing game 2 in Madison Square Garden. Yes, he wasn't consistent all the way through, but you also got to understand the man was hurt enough that he needed off-season surgery on his ankle.
Facts.
So I don't even credit that as a collapse. And you got to give the man credit for actually being a main cog in the reasons why you've got to watch New York Knicks playoff basketball 2 years out of the last 3. Something that you didn't get to watch 8 years before that. You didn't enjoy your playoff series win for 10 years. Julius Randle was a part of that. So do you think they're going to trade that guy who took less money to stay here, became an MIP, 2-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA as a Knick, and continues to show that he's trying to do what it takes to win basketball games? He's playing at a high level. You feel me? When you compare his numbers to people that are widely considered better than him, he's kind of there. There's only 3 people that average 20, 10, and 5. It was a stat. I didn't take a screenshot of it. Yesterday, they put up a category, I think, about the amount of people that have over a certain amount of points, a certain amount of rebounds, a certain amount of assists so far this season. And it's 3 of them. No, 4 of them. 4 of them. It's Joel Embiid, Joker, Giannis, Julius Randle. Guess what the first 3 all have in common? They're all MVPs. They're all MVPs. All of them. Not saying he's as good as them. I'm not saying that. Obviously, those guys are better than Julius Randle. But I'm saying he's doing things that's putting his name in the same breath as guys who are considered wildly better than him. So do I think no, he's not going anywhere. If he was going to go somewhere, they would have done it already. They would have done it already.
I agree 100%. And I say it every time. Y'all know I'm not a big Julius fan, but I don't think he's going nowhere. Absolutely not. There's no way. And guess why? Who the hell we gonna get to fill them shoes? Ain't many players in the league at the 4 that's gonna give us what he gives us. Period.
Yeah,
Like
that's a fact.
that's it. That's it. So you build around it. You build around him and Brunson, and you open up the floor for them. You give them defenders that's gonna play with them in that starting lineup, and that's how you build the team. We can't keep removing players that are key parts of this team right now. We cannot.
Yep. So again, this is why I'm saying you got selective memory. So you clearly don't remember game 2. You clearly don't remember game 2 of the Heat series. You clearly don't remember. Go do your Googles. I'm about to bounce. But do your Googles, Steven, because I'm not doing this with you today. Do your Googles. He's been hating Julius Randle for as long as I can remember, bro. We've been having these conversations about Julius Randle for forever, for forever. And I've been saying things about Julius Randle, what Julius Randle could do. He's like, oh, nah, he's not going to do this. He's not going to do that. I remember I said this was when we first got Julius Randle. It took him a couple years to do it, but I was right eventually. Said Julius Randle could be a 25-plus per game scorer. This guy, Stephen Kennedy said it would never happen. It would never happen. And he did it. So yeah. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. Happy New
Facts.
Year to everybody. Be safe. More peace and blessings to y'all in the upcoming year. We play tomorrow. I think I could do. Yeah, I think I could do a recap tomorrow. You know what I mean? So y'all might see me tomorrow. Mrs. Knicks,
I'm here. You know it.
you already know the vibes. Happy New Year's to you and your
Happy
family.
New
You
Year's.
know what I mean? And I see y'all. Peace.